And then just as I was walking, I heard this massive voice, which felt like it was coming from the center of my head with loads of emotion, proclaim, "Stop." I had my first major psychic experience in Manchester over 20 years ago, and it completely blew my mind. Now, I am aware at this point I've gone round in a circle, or I was going back towards the station. But it was a nice day, the sun was out, I had my tunes on, and I was just going with the flow. If I saw the office, I went in. If I didn't, I went and did something else. And then just as I was walking, I heard this massive voice, which felt like it was coming from the center of my head, with loads of emotion, proclaim, "Stop." And I just froze and I was shocked, and I took my headphones out. I had a look around. Even though I was sure it came from within my head, I really felt it like vibrating, and I felt all this rush of emotion through me. I still had a look around because I wanted to see if anyone else had heard it, but people were just walking and minding their own business. And then the voice of reason kicked in. I was like, yeah, I'm going back on myself, really. This is a bit daft. I shouldn't really be doing this. I just spotted a Starbucks. They were quite new. We didn't have one back at home. So I thought, why don't I go and get myself a Starbucks and sit inside and do a bit of people watching and come up with a plan. And just as I started to walk towards Starbucks, I looked around, and I think this building's new because I'm pretty sure it was in that location. I had a look round and I was stood right outside the RAF Careers Centre. And it took me a good minute to sort of get my composure, because I was like, this worked better than I expected it to. I kind of expected it to just be walking around. And I'd done things like this before and never really got any results. But here I was, pretty much like 30, 40 minutes into my trip, maybe less. And my own internal sat-nav inside my head had directed me exactly where I needed to go. Now, to be honest, there's a lot more to this story, which involved the recruitment process and also why I didn't eventually continue and go and get the job. There's a lot that happened after applying that I'm not sure I can talk about. I probably still will. I'll probably make a video about it, but maybe that's for a later date. But that, to this day, was probably the craziest experience that's ever happened to me in my life. And I want to know, have you had anything similar that you just can't explain? Maybe you felt daft about talking about it until you saw this video. I don't care anymore. I'm in my 40s. I don't care what people think about me, but it's a story that I've wanted to share for over 20 years. And I've got loads more. So if you like things like this, give me a follow.